Hello, my name is Thomas Kennedy. This is my CSI Instructional Podcast number 2. First thing up is how to make an appointment in iCalendar. To make an appointment in iCalendar, simply find the icon at the bottom of the screen along the dock. Double click it, open it up, it'll show up the daily calendar first. You can double click on the time slot if you'd like, if that's the correct date. Type in the name of the event that you plan on doing during that time. You can give it as much information as you like. Click off it, and then you can see it in the monthly view, the weekly view, and the daily view. You click on it and all the information will be right there. Next thing we're going to be talking about is how to create a to-do list in iCalendar. Simply open iCalendar on the bottom of the dock and click View and click Show Reminders on the top of the screen, and that way it will give you the to-do list. Simply type in whatever you need to do on there, and that's your to-do list. You can click off it and click back on it. It will have the information and whatever you entered on it. Next thing we're going to do is how to create and delete a user account. To get to the setting, you are going to have to go to the System Preferences at the bottom of the screen. It's located along the dock. Simply click it and click on the icon option, Users and Groups. On there, it will give you your name and a guest account and any other accounts that you have on your computer previously. You're going to have to unlock it if you have it locked. Type in your password and click Unlock. And to create one, you're going to have to click on the addition sign, type in the name and the account name that you'd like, password if you'd like one, and give a hint for the password if you do set a password. That way it helps you to remind it in case you forget it by accident. Then click Create User. And then what you're simply going to do next, in order to delete the account, you're going to have to click on the minus sign, which is right next to the plus sign where you created it, and it's going to give you a bunch of options. You can keep all the files that they created, or you can delete them. If you want to delete them, click the last option and click OK, and they'll be gone. Make sure you click on the lock after you finish all that way no one else can mess with your settings. Next thing we're going to talk about is how to create a PDF file. To create a PDF file, you're going to want to open up a program that lets you create a Word type document. You can use Microsoft Word, for instance, and make sure you pick a blank document or any type of document as your choice. When you create the document, in order to have it saved as a PDF file, what you're going to have to do is, after you finish typing your document, when you go to save your document, you're going to go to Save As instead, and it's going to show up as an option that'll say Save As .docx. What you're going to want to do is change that option to PDF, and that will simply change it to a PDF form. That way you don't have to do anything else, and that way you have your PDF file saved and ready. Save it in a place, make sure you remember where you know where you put it. After you save it, you can then close Microsoft Word if you like, because it's already saved. You can go to where you saved it and the option will be there. I chose to save it on my desktop. As you can see, once I quit Word, it will appear on the screen. Next thing we're going to talk about is how to create a screenshot of one section only on your computer. In order to do that, you're going to want to hit the Command key, Shift, and then the 4 option. And what that will do is give you a funny looking mouse icon, and simply what you do is you highlight what you want pictured, and it'll take the screenshot. You can click, it'll save it to your desktop, open it, and it'll be right there for you. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to create an audio recording using QuickTime. And in order to do that, you're going to have to open QuickTime. And once QuickTime is open, you're going to go to the top of the screen, click File, click New Audio Recording, and it's going to show up as a little black box that you see on my screen. Simply click on the red dot and it'll start recording. You can say whatever you like. Then when you're done, you can click the stop button. Make sure you play it to make sure that it recorded, and that way you have your audio recording. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to use multi-homing. In order to get to multi-homing, what you're going to want to do is go to the System Preferences, which is along the bottom of the screen on the dock. Click it to open it, and once it's open, you're going to click on the Network Settings. Then once you're under the Network Settings tabs, what you're going to do is make sure you click on the connection that you have, whether it be wireless or Ethernet, and then once you have that click on Advanced Settings, and that's going to bring you to another screen. It's going to show you all the wireless networks that you've been connected to in the past. If you want to add a network, you're going to click on the addition sign that is on the screen, and you can simply type in the name of the network, or you can wirelessly search for one. And then it's going to ask for the password once you do that. If you decide to change the order of networks you want to connect to in, simply you're going to drag it down, or you can drag it upwards, whatever you prefer. Just drag it in the order that you want to connect to the networks in. Next thing we're going to talk about is adding and deleting bookmarks. To add and delete a bookmark, you're going to have to open up an internet browser. On the internet browser, simply go to the website that you'd like to add the bookmark to, and then at the top of the screen, you're going to go to the Bookmarks tab, click Add Bookmark, and you can rename it if you like, or you can leave the name as the website, and it will appear at the top of the screen on that little bar that you see. It has YouTube, Yahoo, Apple, and all those other websites on. Then to delete the tab, simply drag it off that toolbar and it will delete the bookmark for you, no problem. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to set your home page on an internet browser. You're going to want to have an internet browser open, and that way once you have it open, you're going to go to the top of the screen, and you're going to click the File tab. Then underneath that, it's going to give you an option. It's going to say Preferences. Click on that, and it will bring you to a screen. It will have a bunch of options on it, and then you could already have the website up that you'd like to use as your home page. That way, once you open up the Preferences tab, you can just click Set the Current Page, and it'll change it to that without a problem. Or you could type in the website manually, and it'll change your home page for you. That way, when you open up the browser, that's the website it will first open up to every time you use it. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to magnify text on a website. There's a couple of different ways you can do it, but first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to open up a web browser. Now, there's a couple of very common methods. One of the most common methods on a Mac is simply drag your two fingers apart when you have two fingers on the keypad, and it will zoom in, and you can see everything on the page. It will still be there. It will just be zoomed in. You're able to read it better. And the zoom back out, drag your two fingers together. Now, another way you could do it is click on the View panel, the View tab on the very top, and then click Zoom In. And you can keep on doing that. It will zoom in for you without a problem. And you can also zoom out the same way too. You can zoom in as far as you like, that way until you can read it. And finally, the third common way to do it is you're going to want to hit the Command key and then hit the plus key, which also has the equal sign on it. And you can keep hitting that and it'll zoom in the page for you. And if you want to zoom out, you can hit the Command key and hit the subtraction key or the negative key, whatever you prefer to call it, and it'll zoom back out for you. And that's it for my podcast. I'm Thomas Kennedy. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.